Swastiastu. Hello everyone, today we're from SGDB 8. We'll present you about body temperature regulation. Next. These are the members of SGDB 8. Next. Okay. The first one is about body temperature.
Hello everyone, my name is Mary Bintandila Pravitari and I will explain about body temperature. Body temperature shows the average heat energy of human body which is produced by metabolism. Human body is homeothermic. Homeothermic means the human body could maintain its temperature at a certain level. The purpose is to coordinate the metabolic activity with the existing thermoregulatory mechanism. Next will be delivered by my friend.
I'm Gloria Grace, and I will explain parts of the body that are used as a place to measure the body temperature. So there are several places where you can measure the body temperature, including the mouth, ear, armpit, rectum, and skin of the forehead. There might be a slight difference in temperature shown in each part of the body. For example, the usual range of normal temperature in measured orally is around 36 degrees Celsius to 37.5 degrees Celsius, while in the rectum it is 36.6 degrees Celsius to 37 degrees Celsius. Next will be delivered by my friend.
Hello, I'm Cassandra. And now I'll be explaining about the temperature regulation of the human body. The first is control by balancing heat loss. If the amount of body heat is greater than that of the heat loss, it will cause one's body weight to increase because the extra energy taken is stored inside the body. On the other hand, if the amount of heat production from the body is lesser than that of the heat loss, it will cause the body weight to decrease, because the body must use the stored energy. Next.
Okay, my name is Naomi and I will explain about the main determining factors for the body's metabolic rate. They are, first, basal metabolism rate of all body cells. Second, additional metabolism rate, including muscular contraction, triggered by shivering, caused by muscle movement. And third, additional metabolism due to the influence of thyroxine on the cells, and to a lesser degree, other hormones such as growth hormone and testosterone. The next slide will be explained.
Okay, thank you, Naomi. I'm Fidel Jonathan, and I will continue the next one. Fourth is the effect of epinephrine, norepinephrine, and sympathetic stimulus on cells induce extra metabolism. Fifth, additional metabolism due to increased cell chemical behavior, particularly once the temperature of the cells rises. Sixth, the additional metabolism necessary for food digestion, absorption, and preservation. And the last is the metabolic nutrition influence. Next will be delivered by my friend Sophie.
Thank you. My name is Sophie and I will explain about heat loss. There are 4 ways for our body to lose heat. First is by radiation. Around 60% of the source of heat loss is from radiation. Radiation itself is the release of heat energy from a warm body surface in the form of heat waves. The body radiates heat in the subcutaneous blood vessels that emit infrared rays from the surface through radiation. Second, by conduction. Unlike the radiation process, conduction is a process of losing molecular kinetic energy with contact of the skin to their surroundings. It depends on the temperature difference and the thermal conductivity of the material involved. Third, we have convection. Convection is the process of heat loss by the movement of water or air molecules across the skin depending on the airflow or the water flow over the skin. Contribute around 15% from the heat loss from the body. Last is the process of heat loss by evaporation. Evaporation itself takes about 22% of heat loss, making it the next major source after radiation. Everybody must have heard the word evaporation. It is the process of losing heat by converting water to gas. One of the examples of this process is sweating. It is a regulated evaporation process to dissipate heat. The body depends on evaporation when radiation for heat dissipation. That's all from me. Next slide will be explained by my friend, Stefanus. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Stefanus Christian Surya. Now I will explain the hypothalamus role. Particularly, almost every part of the regulation of body temperature is controlled by a nervous feedback mechanism. But all these mechanisms are being operated by the temperature regulating centers that are located in hypothalamus. Hypothalamus itself has two main jobs. Those are maintaining homeostasis and controlling several certain hormones. Next.
Hello, my name is Tevri Sianto. So I will explain when the body is too hot or too cold. Hypothalamus will instantly send signals to skin, glands, muscles, and organs to maintain the temperature. When the body temperature is too high, hypothalamic temperature centers will intensely dilating the blood vessels, that making the body sweat and less, decreasing the heat production. When the hypothalamic centers detect that the body is too cold, they will let the blood vessel tighten, then stimulating the hair follicles, which may cause the pale erection and increasing the heat production by promoting sebring. Next slide will be delivered by.
Hello, my name is Rizky. First, I will explain the hypothalamic anterior perioptic area. This area has huge number of neurons that are having a role as temperature sensors, which means the control body temperature. When the body temperature falls, the heat-sensitive neuron will lower their firing rate. Otherwise, the cold-sensitive neuron will increase their firing rate when the body temperature falls. Hence, anterior hypothalamic perioptic area has the biggest role as the control center in regulating body temperature. The next one is posterior hypothalamic perioptic area. The posterior hypothalamic perioptic area in the function integrating the upcoming signal from the hypothalamic perioptic area and the signal from the peripheral receptor in order to take charge in the body heat producing. Next.
Okay, so my name is Pandey, and now I will explain about the deviation of body temperature regulation. The first one is fever. Fever is a condition when the body temperature is above the usual range of normal, 36 until 37 degrees Celsius. Fever is your body is trying to fight and keep your body away from some illness or can be some infections. There is a part of our brain which is called hypothalamus that has a main role in controlling our body temperature. Fever can be caused by abnormalities in the brain or by toxic substances that affect the temperature regulating centers. The mechanism of pyrogens can also be the cause of fever. Pyrogens increase the production of in phagocytic cells. Interleukin-1 acts on the anterior hypothalamus to increase the production of prostaglandins. Prostaglandins increase the set point temperature, setting in motion the heat-generating mechanisms that increase body temperature and produce fever. Next will be explained by.
So the next deviation is hyperthermia. Hyperthermia is an imbalance in the amount of heat obtained by the body with the heat released by the body. The first hyperthermia is exercise-induced hyperthermia. It is a physical result of the extraordinary heat load. The body temperature increases during the early stages of training because the gain in body heat exceeds the amount of heat dissipated from the body. The next one is pathological hyperthermia. It is the increasing of heat production associated with abnormally high circulation of thyroid hormone or epinephrine that causes dysfunction in the thyroid traps or the adrenal medulla. And the last one is heat stroke. Heat stroke is usually related with high temperature and humidity in a certain area. It happens because the thermoregulation mechanism is failing, and then the sweat stops and the core body temperature is rising. Next will be delivered by
Hi everyone, my name is Chok Nadia. Today I will be delivering about hypothermia. So, hypothermia is a medical emergency that can happen to a person when the person is exposed to excessive cold temperature. The core temperature of patient affected by hypothermia is usually lower than 35 degrees Celsius or 95 Fahrenheit. There are two types of hypothermia, which is acute hypothermia and chronic hypothermia. Acute hypothermia is hypothermia that occurs when a person is immersed in cold water for a long time or is. Meanwhile, chronic hypothermia is hypothermia that affects someone with certain diseases, aging, or prolonged exposure to cold temperatures. Hypothermia is a disease that cannot be underestimated. The disease can cause several dysfunction in vital human organs. For example, first in the heart, which will cause irregular beating. Next, in kidneys, which can lead to kidney failures, and the last one is brain, which can lead to changes in mental status such as confusion or loss of consciousness. Liver damage, bleeding disorders, and muscle tissue damage can also occur as a result of hypothermia. These damages occur because the heat regulation mechanism begins to fail as body temperature continues to drop. Next will be delivered by my friend.
Hello, my name is Felicia. On this presentation, we are able to conclude the body temperature regulation into 3 points. Human body temperature is usually used to measure the disease severity and the average heat energy of the human body production. Hypothalamus, the center of the temperature regulating system, is really important in maintaining homeostasis or the equilibrium of the body and controlling certain hormones in our body. However, some deviations still can occur in our body, which problems or some abnormal conditions such as fever, hyperthermia, and hypothermia.
So these are the references that we use to create our student project. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that's all from SGDB 8 for the presentation about body temperature regulation. If we made any mistake during the presentation, we're very thank you for watching and thank you for your attention. Om Santi 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 Om.